Hi, welcome to me and Therese.
Here we are.
It's just us tonight, so hope you're
Just
not disappointed.
lucky you.
I'm Liz. This is Therese. You probably know us. If you're new, welcome. We're not your typical knitting podcast. We just chat, and
Just chat.
whatever comes up comes up. And sometimes people don't like it, but that's what happens when you chat with people. You can't always control the conversation.
Put headphones on your little ones sometimes.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
So welcome to winter. I know places like Therese are at. It's very cold now, so I sympathize, and we feel really bad for the people who are losing their homes in California.
Mm,
It's awful, and
But luckily for them, it's not, cold.
yeah, because that would be a lot worse.
Like the North Carolina people living in tents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's 20 here. Feels like 4.
Since FEMA took the trailers.
Yeah.
But,
and they closed down this weekend. So nobody could get in. Go. We started off good.
Yeah, well, it's life.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Yeah.
So, what have you been knitting?
What have I been knitting? Well,
I like your hat, by the way.
Thanks. This is not a new knit. It's I don't feel like doing my hair knit. So I have 2 finished objects.
Ooh.
Yes.
I have no finished objects.
Hats for
Aw, that's pretty.
Toddlers or big-headed babies like Stewie. Stewie could wear this. And
there are some big-headed babies. Not gonna lie.
I shared that one already. Oh, and then this one, hot pink.
Ooh, I like the hot pink.
Yeah. That's all on the cranker machine,
Hey, whatever works.
Yep. And then I have a new cast on. Get it out.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yes. This is the Craigavon shawl or scarf or whatever. Okay, it's
here. Let me make you big.
No,
that we can see. There, okay. At least we can see the stitch pattern.
Okay, it's just basically 5 rows of stockinette, 1 row of garter. That's all you do.
Okay.
And then you go until you have half your yarn, and then you decrease. This is
okay.
This is my precious cashmere. I don't know if I've talked about this yarn. This is that
not in a while.
Yeah. This is that Mongolian jade sapphire Mongolian cashmere. I got it at the Salvation Army. There was 4 skeins of it, and it was $2.99 a skein.
Dang.
And I snatched it up. And while I snatched it up, I went on my phone and I, Googled it to see how much it was. And at the time, it was $47 a skein.
Whoa. Very
and so
nice.
I'm going around the Salvation Army, and people are looking in my cart, and I think I literally growled at people because don't be looking at my yarn.
These are not the droids you're looking for. Move along.
Yes. And I've had this probably maybe 10 years. I wanted to use all of it. And I could never find a pattern. I wanted to do something with leaves or something, but I couldn't find a pattern. And then I found this one and I said, well, screw the leaves. I'll just do this.
Will that use all your yarn?
Well, you use half of it for the increases and then half of it for the decreases. So that uses all of it. Yeah. Awesome. So that's what I'm working on. And then, I don't know.
Well, I've been working on a couple things. I started a hat, but I have to pull it out. So I'm not going to show that. And I like it, but I screwed it up. So I have to fix it. I've been working on this one sweater, my one cardigan that I'm doing the sample for.
Ooh, pretty.
And then the sleeves are flowers all the way down.
I love that color.
It's a Tina color, Viva Liz Iverson, by the way. And so this is the final sample. I'm trying to get that done. And then I've been working on this other one, which I've been posting on Instagram, which I already knit one, but I've been playing with the gauge. So This will be the final gauge because the other one's way too drapey for the DK weight. So.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Thank you. Because if it were like worsted or Aran, it would be fine, but it's too drapey in the DK. So I had to play with that a little bit and play with the numbers. And you guys know I'm not big on math. So.
No, me neither.
It's which colorway? The first one was Viva Liz Iverson. And this colorway is No Sleep Till Brooklyn. And they're both awesome colorways from our lovely Tina, who I think is in the chat. Go grab some from her website.
I'm looking at my tab that's open, which has a basket.
And then I got some from her the other day that I ordered last year. I'd gone the other day for another project, this is called A Good Day. Isn't that pretty?
Ooh.
I think it might be color work. At least that was the plan when I got it. So yeah. So that's what I've been up to, trying to get these finished so I can get them to test knitters. So I need to finish this so I know how much the yardage is so I can calculate the yardage for the other sizes. So,
what's fun is that this is one good thing about knitting. You're not going to see any sweater like that out in public, off the rack. Everything like my scarf here. You're not going to see that off the rack anywhere. You're not going to see anybody. Most things you knit, you're not going to see anybody else wearing them unless they're knitters.
Yeah, and it is a bummer re-knitting it, but I don't mind because I can always repurpose that yarn from the other one. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the yarn. I just have to pull it out and soak it and then rewind it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm going to put a pattern out, I want the fit to be right. So, and I'm trying to write it so it's simplified. Not a beginner pattern, but simplified enough that there's not a lot of weird stuff in there. So. Oh, and Tabitha's listening while she mops. Kat Hurd's here. Candy, all you guys. Thanks for joining us on a Monday as you do, because it seems to be the day that works out for us right now.
Mm-hmm.
Our next Friday will be the first Friday in February, and I don't even know when that is. Probably gotta look that up.
I don't know. Third, maybe? I don't even know.
Nope, the 7th.
Oh, okay.
Because the 1st is a Saturday. So the 7th is when we'll be back with Joe Bob. And we can hear her, what's been going on with her. Oh, Tara, you flew to Florida? Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Lucky.
You have safe travels. And any of our friends in California, we're thinking about you, and we hope you're all safe and your families are safe. And it's awful.
It's terrible. And doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon.
No. But maybe this will open people's eyes to the people running their cities and states, and fire departments. Like, what if you can't lift my husband?
Oh, Lord, I just could not even. He got himself in that. Yeah.
So you can't rescue men. Good to know.
And
I'm sorry.
His house, like a dope.
Like Ann and DK were saying the other day, I don't want the firefighter to look like me because I'm overweight and slow with a bad knee. Okay, I want someone who can actually do stuff.
I'm a klutz, so they'd probably drop me or something.
Oh no, Mama, never know. I hope you're far enough away from it that you're not in any danger. That's scary.
Oh boy. Yeah, these drones.
Well, it's crazy because all the money they cut from their budgets, and they knew, and the mayor wasn't even there. She was in Ghana because Biden asked her to go to Ghana. Like, I'm sorry, if I was the mayor of a city where the big winds are coming in, that they're predicting wildfires, I'd stay home.
Do your job?
Do your job. But she was on the phone. It's okay, according to her.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Yeah. And then, did you see Steve Guttenberg when he was cleaning cars? And the reporter didn't even know who he was. And when he asked him, he didn't say, I am. He said, my name is. Like, he wasn't acting like he was
Yeah.
any more special than anyone else.
Yeah.
He was just like, you know, he wasn't, oh, you don't know me or anything. No, he was just like, I'm a guy who's trying to help his neighbors.
Yeah. And then
I
you
just thought
got
that was
Mandy
so
Moore.
cool.
You got Mandy Moore, who has
Oh, I
been
know.
singing and an actress and all this. I'm assuming she has a couple dollars, and she's doing a GoFundMe for her brother. Like, dude, I can't.
They got their money for it too.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, Elle, that's my problem about how they're making it.
Oh, please.
Yeah, and you know, the people going after James Woods because of his beliefs, and then it turned out his house wasn't burned down, which was awesome for him.
Hey, yeah.
But it just blows my mind, like Prince Harry and his wife going for a photo op and taking a camera crew.
Because, you know, when I'm traumatized and grieving, I really want to see them.
Well, and get this, she put out her trailer for her stupid cooking show and got ratioed to hell and back on Netflix YouTube channel. And then she put out the video about her dog dying for sympathy, even though the dog died in October, but she acted like the dog just died. And when that didn't work, they went out to the Pasadena because they partner, was their term, with World Kitchen, but I don't know how much money they actually give. They said they were there for 17 minutes, and they were walking through people's homes. Those people aren't even allowed back in their homes yet, you know, in the rubble, and they let these people, wackadoodles, go walking through. I think Justine Bateman called them disaster tourists. And someone they like to pretend they're royals, but the royals don't go in until after the emergency situation is over because they don't want to distract from. Because I'm sorry, if I lost my house, what I'd be waiting for totally was a hug from Meghan Markle, not.
Well, and
then the woman she was hugging, you know, that they have this big picture of her hugging the survivor. Turns out it's a member of her staff that came in with them.
Oh my God.
And they notified the press and TMC that they were doing it, so they had a camera crew with them.
Ooh.
Because, you know, meanwhile, Jennifer Garner's there. She's not been volunteering on the down low. You know, she didn't announce it. People saw her announced it, but just tacky.
I used to like her. To Elle's point, I want to know what was in that bill that the Republicans voted down, because it was probably a bunch of pork. You know, they always throw stuff into these bills. And so, you know, you get blamed if you vote down a bill, but it's probably got a bunch of crap in it that has nothing to do with the actual bill.
Yeah, and it cracks me up. They're all going after people like James Wood. Oh, this is karma and karma. What about all the leftist celebrities who lost their homes too? What part of karma is that?
Right. Oh, that's climate change karma. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard somebody claim that all the houses of all Diddy's partners in crime were targeted, but I don't know about that. And then they postponed Meghan Markle's Netflix show till March.
Yes, Mel Gibson. Yeah, he's been very vocal too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Can't blame him. I mean, it's ridiculous. A week or a day before the fire, the mayor was trying to cut the fire budget another $49 million. You know, and it's like,
was smelt. The only people
I don't think anybody
people in Wisconsin. Okay,
nobody deserves that. It's an act of nature. Nobody deserves that.
No.
Of course, it's awful. It's horrendous. But when you vote in the kind of people who do that kind of thing, you have to really self-reflect and think maybe we need to make better choices.
Yes.
I'm not victim blaming because that's terrible and you never do that. No. I'm just saying that maybe because this happened, some people will open their eyes and realize that, you know, they didn't make the best choices. And then Trump wants to buy Greenland.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Why not?
And they did a poll in Greenland and the majority of people said, yeah.
Well, the Greenland prime minister, whatever he's called, he's like, we're willing to negotiate. Like, oh, okay.
Meanwhile, Denmark's like, wait a minute, that's our country.
Like, wait, we own you. Yes, that's why I want to leave. Yeah.
The smelt is some little fish that was endangered. And granted, they have not seen one in 14 years in the wild. So they could be gone already. But Newsom and the environmentalist cut the water back to protect the smelt. And they also didn't fill the reservoirs.
They're big in Wisconsin. Yeah. They have fish fries, smelt fries. They go smelting, and then they have big fish fries. And
but yeah,
they're weird little fish. Well, I saw was it Oregon, where they want to kill thousands of this one kind of owl in order to protect this other kind of owl. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you guys don't vote for Newsom and his ilk, but so he's, patting himself on the back, talking about smart LA 2.0.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell that is.
Well, it's your little smart cities where you only live 15 minutes,
Yeah.
Good luck with that here, because you can't do.
Pretty sure.
We don't have public transportation where I live to get to Detroit or get to Ann Arbor or get to wherever.
Pretty sure the terrain out there is not going to make it very easy to accomplish that kind of setup. But
didn't they do like a light rail or a fast train or something, and then they quit because they spent the money, but then they quit making it because it wasn't.
Evidently, they're starting it back up again.
Whatever.
It just, it's
so
awful.
Now Canada wants to take Oregon and Washington and California. And I'm like, okay, all of our friends can leave, and then you build a wall and you take it. Goodbye.
Sorry. There's too many people in Oregon who believe in the Second Amendment. There's no way they're going to give up their guns to be part of Canada.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
It's just they think they're so funny when they say stuff like that,
Oh, I know. Canada's got its own problems.
Yeah, big time.
But I think it's funny how Trump trolls him, though. Because he just spouts stuff. And I don't know if he actually believes it or if he just says it to get people talking. But I know why he wants the Gulf of America, though. To circumvent the offshore drilling that Biden banned in the Gulf of Mexico. So if it's no longer the Gulf of Mexico, he can get around it without having to go through Congress.
People don't realize that he'll say stuff. The guy is a master negotiator. He'll say stuff just to get things started, and it sounds outrageous. Well, it's the very first, shot fired. It's exactly. The first test piece that's been moved.
Exactly. So I hope everybody's working on your sweaters. I extended the knit along until the beginning of February. So because there's some people who were close to being done, and I really want them a chance at the prizes.
Sure.
And then we're going to do our baby hat knit along.
Baby, toddler, child. Yay, baby.
Small person.
Child, small person, littles, for the littles.
For the littles.
So by then we'll have a hashtag and all the, and I don't know. I think maybe it'll be just for the whole year, and just whatever.
Yeah.
There might be prizes. I might just randomly, hey, here's somebody and you can pick a pattern and I will buy it for you. For the babies.
I just think it's just been so freeing since the election that people are allowed to speak their mind. And it was pretty funny. They said at the last inauguration, the fashion designers didn't want to have anything to do with Melania. And now they're beating down her door. If he was smart, he would cancel all the inauguration balls and events and give that money to hurricane relief and fire relief and tell the people that, it's about them and not him.
Right.
And the PR campaign would be through the roof.
Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that, I read Melania's book last week and it's good. It's a little fluff, but it's okay. It's good to hear things from her perspective. She's not a big fan of the media. She's not a big fan.
Can't imagine why.
Washington. But yeah, it was just nice to, hear from her because she's very quiet and you don't really hear a lot from her. So it was nice to hear something from her perspective. Anyway.
Well, it was supposed to be finish a sweater.
Ooh.
But because the designer didn't get back to you, I will allow it. Because as Anne says, we make the rules, we can make the rules.
Liz is our benevolent dictator.
At least on this knit along. Joe's knit alongs, you're on your own.
There's no telling. And
Joe will make the rules on those.
I'm so lazy. I'm just like, do whatever. It's not even a hat. It's not even a hat along. It's a baby, let them live along.
Right.
So you want to do, like, I know Tara does those little pants, which are super cute. You want to do pants? Do pants. You want to do socks? Do socks. Do hats? Do sweater? Whatever. Do whatever you want.
I don't think all of them are put on by the States Cats, because I know Gateway Pundit is funding one of the inaugural balls.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the States plus other groups or not, but that, to me, that's just a lot of wasted party money.
Yeah.
You know,
But
so that the elites in Washington can kiss up.
Yeah.
You know, though I cannot wait to see Harmeet Dillon hat.
Oh, they're so cute.
Her flag hat is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we will get to see her in the crowd in the inauguration. Because she said that's what it was for. So.
Yeah, she was making some for her friends and she was giving them out. So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Like her.
Better than those old pink pussy hats for sure. Yeah.
So vulgar. Why be vulgar?
I don't know. And people, don't forget to post your pictures knitting while watching Murder, She Wrote for Tabitha's Winter of Murder knit along. I think that goes through February, if I'm not mistaken. And
Maybe.
Anne and DK have their Knit Long and Prosper. I think this is the last month for that. And I haven't even submitted one bingo thing.
I was an epic fail on that.
I wasn't ever using the right colors, and I never got around to some of the projects I wanted to do for that because I was doing other things. And
yeah. I just, nope. It's hard when it's Thanksgiving and Christmas and, it just it got away from me.
Yeah. And I have so many pattern ideas and that I don't have time to actually make, which is a bummer. But unfortunately, I don't have any around here that I can knit them for me. But, my daughter's not interested at whatsoever in knitting. She basically knows how to crochet. She decided she wanted a crochet shawl. So she watched a YouTube video. I gave her yarn and she made the shawl, and that was her one attempt.
One and done.
When they were little, she could, but now she's not interested. She just wanted to make that one to see if she could make it.
She might come back to it when she's a little older.
Maybe. I doubt it, though. It's not really her thing. So I don't have anyone near me that I could say, hey, here's the design. Can you knit the sample for me while I go on to something else? Because I'm not like one of those fancy, famous designers who has people who do that. And Amy and Denise are doing their Mardi Gras now. That is true.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. So it's purple, green, or gold yarn.
Yep. Yep.
Or if you follow our friend Tina, all of the above.
She's got it covered for you.
Mm-hmm.
She even has, and she's posted on Instagram her Mardi Gras yarn next to a king cake. So you can see how authentic her colors are.
Fun.
It is. So
I might do something in green or gold. I will not be using purple for a while, and we won't talk about that.
What yarn are you going to use for that cardigan?
Which cardigan?
The Hohi one.
Oh, it's right here. I started it and then I had to frog it. So, because I'm using it's gold.
Ooh, king cake is delicious.
Yes, it is. Don't eat the baby. This is Tuscan Knits.
Oh,
I know everybody says, "Oh, don't use it." It's just use it. Use it
and enjoy it.
Use it, yeah, and then you'll have a sweater. And you say,
"Is that DK weight?" Or
yes. No, it's Aran. That's what the pattern is for. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's perfect.
That
pattern's going to look good. What was the name of it again?
Oh, jeez. Why you ask me?
so I can make a picture of it.
I gotta look. It's on my iPad. Hold on. I will find it for you.
Life is short. Use the good yarn.
Right.
Especially if you're not buying any more.
I'm not buying any yarn. No. I shall find it. Ah.
Cloud Peak, is that it?
Hold please. Cloud Peak, yes. It has cables up the front. So I started it, and then there was stuff going on, and you got to count, and I just got distracted. So I'll try again. It's fine.
I know.
It's not going to
happen to all of us.
Their thing is over anyway, so it's fine.
Well, no, it's over at the end of the month. I mean, you still count. It wouldn't count towards gold color, but you can still make projects.
Yeah, but how long is there? It's only until Mardi Gras. It's until what? Ash? What's it called?
Oh, Amy's
Ash Wednesday. Yeah.
This is the one Therese is doing.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Up
a little bit. Hold it up there. Up a little bit more. Up. Okay, it has a cable. Yeah, it has cables.
Some of us say we aren't buying more, but some of us lie. Hey, I only did once this year so far, and today's the 13th already, so I'm very proud of myself.
I haven't bought it.
And it'll probably get cast on as soon as it's here, maybe. So March 4th. She says, you can finish before March, Therese.
Are you kidding? In my brain? No.
Yeah, but it's only the front.
There's too many squirrels out there for me to see. Too many squirrels.
Squirrels everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So anything you guys want to ask or talk about, because it's just us and, we're boring. We're not like Joe. We don't have all the stories.
Right. Joe is very entertaining.
She is. I miss her.
Yeah.
Because I miss finding out about the animals.
Mm-hmm. What
she still got
when we go there.
She's still got puppies that need homes. And she's not really happy with Jack about that. So I don't know why she thought he would actually do it, though. How is room cleaning
going out? The room is halfway. I took out the table. I don't know if I talked about that last week. I took out the table.
You did.
Okay, I don't remember. Hey, you want to see my hat I showed four times? Yeah, I haven't.
Really thanks, Cassie.
Much. There's just this big pile that needs to be dealt with, and a lot of it is just the boxes and bags of yarn that's all gone like this while I wasn't looking. I don't know why that happens, so I just got to do that. It's coming.
Yeah, my son's not moving back home, so I get to keep my room.
That's good.
And yes, I love him and all, but I'm kind of happy that I have my room. So.
No, he's not 10, so
No, and he lives in the same town. Well, 2 towns over, but he comes over once a week or so I still see him.
Yeah,
so that's all good because.
And you have a yarn room.
I do, and I made a bunch of hats for him for his friends for Christmas.
And your grocery budget doesn't increase.
Yeah, that's true, because young men and teenage boys, they eat a heck of a lot. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. And it's never what you have, it's that they want something, they want something else. And then they give them, oh, Mom, can you make this? I really love it. And it's like, well, I don't have any of that stuff, so I have to get the stuff. And then,
Of course, I'm the same way too. I never want what we have.
Yeah, that's like
I do the shopping.
When we get food out or go, it's like, what do you want? I don't know. Wow, that's really helpful. And my kids both got that from their father. Like, What do you want to eat? I don't know. Great. Well, it was easy when they were younger because I could just pick.
Yeah.
Tonight we're having quiche for dinner because I made that earlier and Riley's throwing it in the oven. because I had eggs that I needed to use. So, and I had leftover ham, so might as well use it.
Yeah,
And
I love quiche.
my husband actually likes quiche, so that works out well.
It's even better the next day.
It is. Good for you, Kat says. Yarn diets are good, especially in this economy. It's going to take a while before things get turned around.
Yeah, it's not going to be instantaneous. So, yeah.
No. But I think the overall things will turn quicker, because I think a lot of industries have just been waiting for someone to come back and say, hey, let's make things better.
Well, I told David last night, we just cauterized it, and so we've stopped the bleeding, and so now we can start turning it back around. But it's going to take a while because there was a lot of damage done.
Joann's Fabrics might be in bankruptcy soon. I haven't been there in a while.
No, I haven't either.
The one near me is just so decrepit, and it's not that close, and you never find an employee.
Oh, I see online their employee situation is terrible.
Yeah.
They'll have like 1 or 2 people in the entire store, So that's why nothing is,
Yeah, and the people they hire, they don't pay a ton. A good many of them, not all of them, there's some actually very knowledgeable, talented people there. But a lot of the employees have no clue about anything about what they sell. And you ask them a question and they look at you like you have 2 heads.
Yep.
And it's like, you know what, never mind, I will go find myself. But
I miss the days.
Nothing else.
Yeah, it was good.
Nothing else they need restructuring. Added 530 grams, I'm in big trouble. Not if you knit 530 grams.
Knit 531.
There you go. Get a hat knitting machine like Therese and just whip out a bunch of hats, and then.
Excuse me.
I'm jealous of people who have sock machines because they can just whip out sock tubes. And I have a lot of fingering weight that could go into sock tubes. But I looked at the circular sock machines, and the pre-printed ones now are going for more than $600, and that's just ridiculous. So I will be waiting on those. But if anyone has one and enjoys it, good for you. And I keep telling myself I'm not going to get into spinning, but I just can't, because that's so much more buying, and I don't have any of the stuff, and I have to buy fiber, and I have to get a spinning wheel.
I said that.
I know.
And then I said it was
grams. There you go.
Yes, pounds.
Look, Mom and Evan, Tina's got it. Hey, Cheryl.
Tina's an enabler, but that's okay. Hi, Cheryl.
Yeah, but we're all enablers. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I bought yarn
because at the end of the day, it's just yarn. So you buy it, you don't buy it, whatever. Knit from what you got. If you see some you want and you want to get it, don't beat yourself up about it, because at the end of the day, it's yarn and it makes you happy, and you make something nice, and it gives you good endorphins. And you feel better. It's literally her job to enable. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
But in pounds, you've just got like nothing. I know. Isn't that terrible? I start measuring things in yarn weight now. Like when I watch the cop shows and the court shows, and they're like, they had 100 grams of cocaine. I'm like, they had a whole skein of yarn for the cocaine. And in my head, that's like, he had 27 grams. I'm like, okay, that's more than a mini skein. So everything is in yarn weights now, and in grams. So, and some of them court ones are doozies. I'm really enjoying the Sovereign Citizen ones, some of them.
Oh, they are out of control.
It depends on the judge you get, because some of the judges know how to handle them and won't take their crap, and then some of them let it go on way too long. And
that's true, because like in Detroit, most of the judges they're just But there's one judge. It's a older black male.
Judge
And
Simpson.
What's that?
Judge
I don't know his
Simpson.
name, but he does not put up with any crap. He just he's not there for it. Nope.
No.
And we need more like it.
They pulled this woman over because she had a made up license plate, and she was a sovereign citizen. So they started talking to her, telling her that's not legal. She's doing her spiel. She locks the doors and windows, screaming at her kids that the cops are going to take her away. So the kids are screaming and yelling in the back because they're little, that the cops are going to come and take their mother away and they'll never see her again, right? So she's panicking the kids to begin with. And they're like, well, you're going to jail, because then she would have resisted arrest and they had to pull her out of the car, and she started punching the cops, and, she's making it worse for her kids, right? And the husband's, I guess, at work. And so she decides to call someone to come take the kids home. The person she calls is her neighbor, who also has a fake sovereign citizen plate. So now both of them are getting their cars towed because they don't have real license plates. And the other lady's arguing. She's like, "Oh no, I don't need one because I went to the DOT and they approved it. Like, the DOT has nothing to do with license plates, ladies.
They salt the roads and they fill potholes. Yeah."
And he's like, "Well, it's Florida law." She goes, "But this is constitutional law." And he's like, "And the Constitution does not control that. This individual state." And she's like, "So I have to walk these kids home. It was only like a block or two." He's like, "Yeah, because you're not taking this car. We're towing it. You can't legally be on the road." So, I mean, how moronic can you be to get arrested and they get your neighbor arrested too? Like, and the poor kids, they're screaming. They're terrified of the cops, like trying to get out of the car. One of them got out of the car and was running away, yelling at the cop not to hurt him. And it's all the mother's fault for
they're taught that.
Perpetuating. Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's heartbreaking in some ways, but in other ways, these people need to go to a re-education camp and learn reality.
Well, look at that chick in New York City. She's an activist for the whole toll thing in Manhattan. And
yeah.
So she goes on the subway and then she gets mugged. Like, if ever there was justice for anything. And I don't like for people to be mugged, but you know,
sometimes it has to happen to you for you to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ones who, when they tell them they're under arrest, "No, I'm not." Yeah, you are. Or, "Stop resisting." "I'm not resisting," as they're actively pulling away. And it's like, there should be a course in school before everyone graduates high school that they have to go a basic, human, how to deal with humans, basically. And one of them should be learning what happens in a traffic stop and what you can and cannot do.
You know what?
And what the definition of resisting.
I never had that course, and somehow I've managed not to land in jail.
Well, that's because society used to be better about teaching these things, but now you get all these crazy people who fight, and the DUI people who deny being drunk. And then she had an accident. She's driving on two rims.
Oh God!
And didn't know she hit somebody.
Oh no!
She's claiming that was from previous, and she's driving on the rims, and she didn't know. And she's like, "Well, I had a flat tire." He's like, and the cop's like, "And you kept going for 30 miles?"
Right.
Well, because she's drunk, she has no clue, and it's not her first drunk driving event.
It
and
never is.
He made her get out of the car. He's like, "You have no tires on this side of the car. It's fine." No, it's not fine.
'Tis but a scratch.
Yeah, she ended up almost being 3 times the legal limit, and just like, it scares me to be on the road with people like that.
I know. Oh well, here,
civics.
I don't like. The longer I'm away from Detroit, the less I like going there. I mean, I get anxious when we go there because those people down there. First of all, weed is legal here, and people are very happy about that. And so they're all high, and they just point and drive, and change lanes. Just change lanes. Just and it's scary. I just rather just stay home in my little town, not go anywhere.
Scary. I'd rather stay home and knit.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
But that's the worst thing that's going to happen to me.
But yeah, it's just crazy people. And the ones who are like, they don't want to be on YouTube. Well, they don't want anyone to know. Well, you're on YouTube now. So
yeah, you've gone viral.
Yeah. And it's like they screaming and yelling and fighting and attacking the police. And it's like, that's not going to get you anywhere. And then they're like, call my mom. Call my mom. Your mom is not going to do anything.
You're 40 years old.
What do you think? Your mom's going to tell the police no? And they're going to, oh, she said, call her mom. We better let her go.
Unfortunately.
And the shoplifters, these people pissed me off because they were shoplifting in a Target, but they were using their kids to do it.
Oh, I hate that.
And some of the things that they were shoplifting, they put on the kids, the jackets and the shoes, and they were having the kids go, hey, go grab that and put it in the cart and all. And that really pissed me off because they're teaching the kids it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the other thing that pisses me off is when you see, I'm seeing more and more now, these kids in stores, grocery stores, just running through and smashing stuff and knocking, just running their arms through the things and knocking everything down. And nobody says anything to them. You're not allowed to say anything to them because you're this,
Well, I had some kids were doing that the one time. I was at my store, and my store is by the fire station. Mm-hmm. And the firefighters come in and buy their weekly groceries and whatever, and they were in, and the kids were flying in the cart, and the one firefighter just yelled, stop. Mm-hmm. And he let into him. And I guess he got away with it because he's a firefighter. But he really let into him because, and of course there's no adult around him.
No, the mother's somewhere, if even in the store. Yeah.
Leave my babies alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
All this
stuff. You didn't do nothing wrong. Yeah.
People start reflecting the rules of the sidewalk. Yeah. Yeah. People have no consideration for other people. And weed is legal here too. So you get a bunch of high people all the time. And driving and just, it's awful. Yeah. I mean, if you want to do on your time and it's legal and you're not going to affect anybody else, then and you're an adult, I don't care.
Out watching cops do it, but don't be out driving around. Yeah. I mean, it's just dumb. I mean, it's the same.
Trying to park your car at the grocery store when you're high and you can't make it into the spot. So, just don't park near me, okay? Because I don't want that near my car.
Park way in the back. Park back there.
Yeah.
Sideways. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm just done with people.
Yep.
And it's not a political thing. It's just people are crazy.
They are.
It's just the way these kids act. If I had talked or acted that way to not just my parents, but any adult in my life, forget about it.
First of all, we wouldn't have thought of doing that.
Oh no.
It wouldn't occur to me to do some of the stuff they do. And I did plenty of shit. I did a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah, but the whole stuff we did, we tried to not get caught.
And I wasn't destructive, and it wasn't vandalism. It wasn't,
No, it wasn't brazen like it is now that they do it in front of people and put it on the social media. And like this one woman, she got caught for fraud because she had food stamps and she would go to Walmart and buy the Walmart generic soda, cases and cases, and then go dump it out in the parking lot and take the cans in because they redeem the cans for 10 cents a piece.
That's what we have.
So she'd have cash, right? But she's doing it in the Walmart parking lot. So someone called the cops on her and they told her it's welfare fraud. And she's like, oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, I guess they reported it. The cop reported it too. And so she gets a letter that she has to pay back. Not only is her food stamps canceled, but she has to pay back a year's worth of money.
Wow.
Because I guess they had gone back through the cameras in the Walmart and shown that she did it all the time. And not only that, and then she's like complaining about this, but then she's talking about how, she just made $2,100 a week on TikTok and now they're taking her benefits away, her disability benefits. Well, yeah, you don't get the disability benefits if you have money coming in. Like, and how her kids were fired from daycare, another thing that the state was paying for because she was supposedly, and if you're making $2,000 a week, the state's not going to pay for your daycare lady. And if you're a work from home mom, why are you putting your kids in daycare? You don't even work at home.
Right.
Like you're a welfare fraud. They've come after you. My thought is good.
And then the people who actually need it, that need, what it was intended for, then they don't, they cut their benefits. And
See, I cursed on the phone with my dad when I was in my 30s, and he yelled at me. And I never cursed in front of my parents.
No.
That was just not done.
No.
And back talking, you better be able to walk away really fast if you're going to back talk, or you better be on the other side of the room by a door.
Don't you dare roll your eyes.
No.
No. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm
now have to
roller.
now the parents defend them, and it's like this one woman, she was shoplifting, I think. She was 18 and she wanted her mom called, and the cop's like, no, you're an adult. He's like, can you call my mom? No. What's your mom going to do? No, you can call somebody when you get to the jail. She shoplifted like $700 something, which was a felony in that state.
That's nothing. Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. No, it wasn't that. It was in a bank. It was one of those where somebody she knows gives her a cash to check to cash.
Oh.
When it's a stolen fake check.
Yeah.
And she claimed she didn't know it was a bad check, but they stopped on the way to get her scrubs and a stethoscope to make, and she's telling him her cover story was that she worked as a home health aide for the person who wrote the check. So she knew it wasn't a real check because she had to go in a costume. And she was going to jail. She's like, well, I need rent money. And the cop's like, I don't care. And she's like, can you call my mom? He said, how old are you? She said 18. He's like, no. You chose to do this. And she's like, well, I didn't know it wasn't a real check. He's like, if you have to dress and make up a lie that you worked for this person as their home health care person, you know it's not a good check.
I've had a couple of times. One time was when we lived in Cleveland. I was at the grocery store and these people came up to me and they were like, oh, if you give us money, we'll buy double the amount on our, our welfare, whatever, food stamp card. We'll buy your groceries. We'll buy double your groceries if you give us cash. And I'm like, these people have no idea who they're talking to.
Well, what does that benefit you?
Yeah.
Because you're giving them the cash. You could just use the cash to buy your groceries.
Yeah, but they were going to buy twice the amount of groceries, And I'm like, you have barked up the wrong tree, people. I've had it happen.
Born yesterday.
And I'm like, yeah. And, with my leanings, my political leanings, there's no way in hell I was ever going to do that. Not to mention it's wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, this woman was buying these sodas and dumping them in the parking lot, not even drinking them, but just wasting them so she could take, get $16 or $20 back.
Yeah.
Cash. And someone saw her do it and called the cops, and the cops reported her to welfare fraud. And I'm like, good.
I just noticed we went to the grocery store the other day, and they have a sign now where the limit is $25 per time you go to take back your cans. So they must be having fraud here. Yeah.
I mean, she didn't even go home and dump them. She dumped them in the Walmart parking lot. And that's where she'd been doing it. She admitted that's what she did. And she was offended that someone called the cops on her and that she was going to lose her disability money and her food stamps and stuff.
And
I'm like,
be a criminal. They talk about entitlement.
Yeah.
It would never.
Those of us who use the help don't get it. So, But the shoplifters crack me up because how they can not know that there's cameras in this day and age.
Cameras everywhere. Just don't be a dirtball.
Yeah.
That's your lesson for this week. Don't be a dirtball.
The one judge does that. She's like, she makes them take some class that's supposed to teach you not to do right from wrong. And she goes, but I'm going to give you my lesson. Don't take someone else's money. Don't go into someone else's house without permission. And don't be an asshole. Well, she doesn't say asshole, but
Yeah. I was trying
she's thinking it.
Dirtball, asshole, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but have a little consideration for other people. Is that too difficult?
See, now I miss Live PD. And David's one, we don't have cable. We had we had the free thing of YouTube TV for whatever a week or whatever, so we could watch Misery and Disappointment. And now David wants to get it back because he's like, "Oh, I really like that YouTube TV." And
my husband does it, so we have the family plan. Yeah. I wasn't going to pay for it, but he does. So,
yeah, he wants.
I gotta admit, it's nice. It's nice not having ads. I have to admit, not gonna lie.
No, this is the TV. The YouTube TV still has ads. Are you talking about the YouTube without ads?
Premium. He's got YouTube Premium.
Maybe we had. Because we had the free week, so maybe has ads. I don't know. YouTube.
I don't get ads.
This one is out of control with the ads. They're out of control. You'll have a 20-minute video or a 15-minute video, and there's, 10 minutes worth of ads. It's crazy.
Definitely is. I'm interested to see how many people in our knitting community will ditch Facebook and Instagram now, since it's such a scary place.
Zuckerberg is such a shithead. Seriously, he's saying, "Oh, well, the Biden administration made me do it," and he was yelling at me. Okay, first of all, well, who in the Trump administration did that? Because you were censoring people long before COVID. And second of all, there's a word, Zuck, and it's called no. You tell him to go pound sand.
Let's not confuse them with fax trees. Come on.
You're not the victim here, honey.
Yeah, and all these people like, oh, this is going to make less free speech. How is it going to be less free speech?
It less free speech?
It just
because you're not censoring conservatives. Gotcha.
It's going to allow predatory, like Prince Harry and his wife put out a letter against it and how awful it was and how undemocratic it was, which I think is kind of hilarious. But yeah, a lot of people in the knitting, at least I've seen on Instagram, are freaking out and they're all leaving. And when they go to the other place and they don't get any followers,
because they censor still.
So. Yeah, and here's the thing. The difference is a lot of people in our group, in our community, got treated like crap, And while we found our own little groups, Telegram and other places, we've still stayed on the greater worldwide internet. We take the good with the bad and accept the fact that we have to see things that we don't agree with, but we're adult enough to say, okay, well, I can scroll by, or I could just not, engage. But these people on the other side, they're not mature enough to do that.
No.
They have to have it so curated where they don't see anything that upsets them. And it's like, that's so immature and childish. And if you don't like something, scroll past it. That's all I'm going to say.
I did. Oh, holy crap. I was telling David, I was flipping through Reddit today just to see, because there's some stuff on Reddit. I'm on some cooking, recipes and cooking and this and that. But in the Michigan one, they were talking about Gretchen Whitmer, what she's doing to green energy, and she's only got 2 years left and blah, blah, blah. And there were people on there that were actually saying, she's the greatest governor we've had in a very long time. Oh, I hope she runs for Senate or something because she's so awesome. I was like, oh, yeah, click the X, get out of here.
People in LA thought that about their mayor too, and their, fire chief. And then they found out, unfortunately, that, I don't care if you want to have whatever political beliefs you want, that's fine. Will I silently judge you? Absolutely. But you're entitled to have them, as long as you're not trying to impose them on me.
Which is what they do. I mean, she's a dictator.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
That she's the greatest governor we've had. Wow, that says a lot about you. Oof.
Well, yeah. I mean, they can be morons. We can't legislate people not to be morons.
It's true.
But you just don't, force it and use government powers to force it on me.
Wow.
Yeah, Natalie, Facebook and Instagram, I'm barely on Facebook.
No.
I don't even look at it. And Instagram, I've cut way back because the ridiculousness of it. But I do like looking at the yarn and the pretty pictures and that kind of thing.
And now TikTok's it's not going away. It's just you're not going to be able to get the app.
I don't know. They're banning it.
Yeah, but they're
banning it completely.
What I understood
I don't know.
is that you can't get the app from the app stores, and then when your phone updates, it probably won't work very well.
Oh,
if
well,
at all.
all these TikTok influencers, that's their entire. That's going to be a rude awakening for them.
Yep.
Because
I every once in a while go on TikTok because, like I said, it's knitting and crocheting and food and funny people, and I don't see all the bad stuff because my algorithm, But if it goes away, and if it doesn't, that's fine too.
I don't have it, but sometimes I'll see in the YouTube shorts, there'll be people also post their TikToks there, so we see things there. But yeah, all these people who rely on it for their income and stuff, because they're TikTok influencers, are going to have a rude awakening. Yeah, they won't be able to get paid for their videos, is what it is. And so yeah,
they go to Blue Sky.
They can, and they can be happily in their own little echo chamber of people who, think like them and tell them what they want to hear. But it's okay because they still let, child predators on there, but that's okay. A lot of those people think that's okay too. Yeah. I get it, Tina. I don't get TikTok either. It just, I mean, people spend so much time putting their crap online like that. And yeah, I know we have a podcast, but it's not a daily thing where we post videos all the time. And all these people who expose their children on it. It's like,
oh yeah. See, I don't see it. I on TikTok, there's a guy that he'll watch videos and then he wants to do what they do. And he's really funny. And then there's this old man. He's British. He's like 92 or something. And so his daughter brings him American foods to try. And so he's very sweet.
Well, that's different.
That's the stuff I watch,
That's different. I don't like the people who blast their children all over the place.
No, I don't like that.
The mommy talkers and they do it on YouTube too, the family bloggers and the mommy. And to me, that's just child abuse.
Yeah.
Because your child has no privacy
Children
whatsoever.
cannot consent.
And that's wrong. And I think in the years coming, there will be a lot of lawsuits from children and their parents about private things that were monetized.
I'm glad my kids were young before the internet. The internet came around and my kids were like middle school, and so they weren't on it because they didn't have phones then. They didn't have computer. We had one computer in a room, and you didn't.
No, I mean my kids grew up with it, but we monitored what they were doing, and it's just my kids have been smart about it. Like they know not to where to go and where not to go. But I never post their pictures. I've not posted their pictures online publicly.
No.
Without their permission ever, because once it's out there, it's out there.
And there's too many weird people out there that want to,
Yeah, and use pictures of little kids and just
it's gross.
Creepy, and all these people who put their kids out there. Like I have relatives that do, and I'm like, really? You really want to put your kids out there every day like that? Why? Those are the pictures and things you send to family members, not to strangers on the internet. It really annoys me. My husband's one cousin, her husband's a cop, and I would think that he would know better than to let her post, about what their kids are doing all the time. But I guess not. So,
I don't even.
Unfortunately, people form these parasocial relationships in their head with people online, and it's not hard to think predators see these kids and they form these relationships in their heads too, with these kids, and when they know basically where you live and where you shop and where you go on vacation, where you take your kids, you're putting your kids out there in a way that I don't think a lot of people realize. And yes, I grew up in the 70s where there were a lot of women who died by hitchhikers and kids missing. And And we were gone from dusk till dawn, and our parents had no clue where we were.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. The church can have gay priests. Haven't they always?
Just another reason why I left that church.
Well,
and it's this Pope is the one that is the reason why I left. He started with
I'm sorry, but the whole, open borders crap. There's not open borders of the Vatican.
The wall is immoral. Okay, well.
Open your door, Sam. Open your, Yeah, Biden was there giving the Pope the Medal of Freedom.
Was that when he shit his pants, or was that a different time?
No, that's now. It's like the last couple of days or so.
Oh.
Since he's not actually in Washington actually doing anything. I want to know if legally anything that he has done in the last year is actual legal as far as president, because if he's not been in his right mind, how can anything that he's put his signature to actually be legal? Because
we got 1 week, less than a week now.
Yeah, but I worry what they're going to do in the next week.
Yeah, I know. You never know.
Yeah, just.
I'm waiting to see
if rationality.
Pardons. I'm waiting on pardons.
I mean, what happened in California was awful, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. However, the fact that most of the anti-Trump celebrities are going to be a bit occupied over the next week or so, it's not necessarily going to be a bad thing. I think the reasoning is awful, what happened to them, because nobody deserves to lose their homes, regardless. But, it will be a distraction from the inauguration.
Yeah, Tina. Oh, Tina. Seriously. I don't know if you know this, Tina, but if you've ever seen that show, The Keepers on Netflix, that was my high school. And I was there 5 years after the priest that did all that left. Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, and the gay,
Tara, you're right.
Gay priests are not the problem. Yeah. The cover-up is the problem.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad the patriarch of your church is.
Yeah.
Because it's gotten out of hand, and everyone's like, well, yeah, Americans commit crimes too. Sure, they do. And they would still commit crimes regardless if they're immigrants. But at least those crimes committed by immigrants wouldn't be happening.
Right.
Then the law enforcement can focus on, people here legally who are committing crimes, not having to focus on illegal people committing crimes.
And that's why the Laken Riley bill was so important, because it will stop that. And all those
I'll be right back.
Other side of the aisle that voted against it, not cool, because you're saying, oh, it's okay for people to rape and kill our citizens. It's not okay. It's good old-fashioned common sense. Yeah. So yeah, the Netflix show, it's about a nun that was killed because they think that she was about to expose that this priest had been molesting the girls at this. It's a Catholic girls' high school, and a number of girls had been molested. And they think that the nun was going to go to the authorities. The problem is that the priest was the chaplain for the Baltimore Police Department and for numerous other authorities. So it was a very big corruption scandal. A lot of the police were involved in the molestation. It's very, very bad.
Well, plus he had been doing it to little boys too in other parishes when he
and they kept moving him. He'd get caught, or there'd be suspicion, and they'd move him. And this happened over and over and over again for years and years and years. And it's awful. But that was my high school. Yay.
Well, it's awful, and all these poor child trafficked children that our government has no idea where any of them are, because they don't care. just let them cross the border. It's fine. Just leave the children in the desert, or, let them come across with some total stranger who the parents paid because they, I'm sorry, if you're paying to have your child brought across the border by someone else, you're guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tina wants to know how you're supposed to trust anyone after dealing with that.
No.
Fortunately, there are good people and there are a lot of bad people in organizations, and churches are one of those organizations.
And it's not just the Catholic Church. It's all, there's
no.
But the Catholic Church has had a lot.
Well, because they're bigger. So,
yes. And they have
and
the most.
And with their structure, it's easier for them to cover it up.
Yes.
Whereas churches that don't have as many worldwide locations or that kind of thing, it's harder for them to.
There's a website now where they list all of the priests from each diocese that had accusation, and legit accusations, not just, fake claims, and ones that were defrocked. And I went on it, and there were 2 of my priests from my church that were involved. And that was kind of chilling.
When I lived in New Jersey, one of the city, I worked at the bank, and one of the towns I worked in the bank had a big Catholic church, and the priest there was doing it. And so the parishioners were pissed, and the church said he had mental health issues, so they were going to send him to a mental health institution, right? Well, it turns out he used to bank with us, so I knew who he was. I didn't go to that church because I wasn't Catholic. And his mother would come in with his paychecks afterwards from a parish in another city in like the Midwest somewhere. So they had not moved him to a mental health institution. They had moved him just to another parish. And one of my coworkers, her husband was the police chief, and she went to that church. And so she flipped her lid, and they went after the church for it and filed charges and everything else. Because back then, it was before, a lot of times charges weren't getting filed. And because it was just, harder to prove, and, it was just starting when it was coming forward back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was pissed because his mom came in, and she was working as a teller, and she saw the check, and she was just livid, and she called her husband right then. She's like, "Could you believe this?" And the church lied. And yeah, it was
back in the I don't know, 90s, whatever. No, it was like 2000, I think. David he trades stocks and insurance, and we had an office, and he had a client. It was an older woman, and she was trading stocks for her son. We had a whole account, and the whole 9 yards. And it came out that he was in prison. And David asked her, what was he in prison for? And it turned out that he had molested children. And David was like, "I can no longer be your financial advisor." And dropped
for him.
Because, we had kids. We had kids in middle school at the time. No.
It amazes me on the court things where these people are doing this, right? And their family members come to defend them. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know. If you're accused of that and you did that, then no, there's no way in hell I would defend you. And all these women, because they don't want to lose the income, and they're like, "Oh, he's really a good man." No, he messed with a 6-year-old. He's not a good man.
That's not,
and it just blows my mind how. And their parents come, "Oh, my son, he takes care of me. He's always been a good boy." Well, you're not being a good boy now. This one today, he was blaming his 6-year-old daughter because she would spread her legs. What was he going to do? She's 6. She has no idea what she's doing. Yeah. She probably, was laying or doing gymnast or whatever 6-year-olds do. And he's like, "Well, it was in front of me. I what was I supposed to do? You were supposed to not touch your daughter."
In England, they're trying to blame the girls.
I know, which is insanity.
You're 12.
All of those, anyone who was involved in that should be burnt at the stake. I'm sorry. what's gone on in England with the rape gangs.
And
they should just go. Yeah.
And now they
go back to the guillotine.
Investigate. Oh, why is that? Why are you not investigating it?
Yeah, because your prime minister was involved, as an attorney, and it's not the first time Starmer's been involved in defending somebody bad.
No. They just busted a guy that was, I don't know what the terms are, Labor MP something. They just busted a guy yesterday or day before. That was involved.
Neil was talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, on live TV, Tina, pay-per-view, raise money for the victims and their families. Yep.
There you go.
Because I'm sorry, if someone had done that to one of my children, you would never find the body.
I watched too much. Nope.
My husband knows too many places in the desert. We talked about that before. Anyone ever mess with his kids?
I live on a marsh. Yeah.
I told him, I said, you know too many places, and I watch too much true crime, so we're good.
I live on a marsh. Yeah.
In Minecraft, sorry. I'm not advocating killing people, clearly, but allegedly, but yeah. No, I'm sorry. You mess with children, you mess with anyone who's not a consenting adult. And like these teachers messing with students and like, well, he was like 15. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He didn't have this one I saw, and she gave the kid 15 years, the judge did. Which they were trying to get him deferred adjudication, probation, right? He was 15, she was 9. They were in a relationship. No, it was not a relationship. A 9-year-old cannot consent to anything. Technically, a 15-year-old can't either.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his whole family, oh, he's a good kid. He goes to church. He helps out around the house. Yeah, but he also screwed up a 9-year-old. Like, no, and the judge is like, no, I'm giving him 15 years. And the whole family, they're all like, all horrified and stuff. And she's like, nope, not going to happen.
Ugh,
and
gross.
Yeah, it's just,
Andrew
you don't mess with children. I have no sympathy with anybody who messes with children. You hurt them, you abuse them. Yeah, no. Did you see that nurse who was breaking the preemie babies' bones? And they caught her on camera because they couldn't prove who did it. They suspended all the nurses, right? And it wasn't happening for like 6 months. So, but they couldn't prove who had done it at that point. So they put in a ton of cameras and they let them all come back to work, and they got her on camera doing it so that they could go after her and convict her. And now she's on trial for it. But she was breaking their femurs and breaking their bones, and yeah, it was awful.
Why? What?
I don't know. But people were like, oh, how could they let her come back? But if they didn't, they never would have caught her, because she would have just gotten a job some other place and hurt other kids, But once they had her on camera doing it, there was nothing. She couldn't defend it, but I'm sorry. And the other trial that's going to start is this woman who, her little boy, her mother was watching him, and he drowned in their pond. 2 years later, her mother's watching her 7-month-old, leaves her in the car, and she dies. So the grandmother is on trial now. And because, this is 2 kids. Like, I don't know if I would have trusted her with the second one after the first one, but she wasn't the only one home. So, and I'm like, how could you forget? And she's like, they interviewed the mom, and they're like, well, what is going to happen? She goes, either way, I lose. She goes, because I've already lost. And she goes, and as mad and angry as I am, because it's my, my child, and she deserves justice. I'm also still the 5-year-old who loves her mom.
Yeah.
And because of the way it is, they can't even mention the first incident, because that was declared an accident. So it's like, can you imagine having and to me, the mother doesn't even have the decency to just plea deal, so her family doesn't have to get dragged through a trial. Like, you can't even just acknowledge the fact that you're a terrible grandmother and like 2 of your grandkids die, and you're going to make your daughter and husband and other family go through a trial.
That's
like, take a plea deal and just let them, get away from suffering. But I don't know.
There's people that have that. There's a, I don't even know if there's been a trial yet or not. There was a case, I think this summer, There was a it was like at a marina or something, one of the halls. They were having a children's birthday party, and this woman was drunk and drove through the parking lot and into the building and killed 2 of the kids. And she was, hauling ass like 80 miles an hour or something through this parking lot. And now, of course, she's the victim and she's got all these problems and she's got this and she's got that. It's like, come on, lady, you killed some kids, suck it up.
Yeah, the whole sympathy thing. And part of what annoys me in the court shows is it's more about helping the poor defendant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they need help. They have mental health. They're a drug addict, whatever. They still make choices.
Yeah.
And it's not about punishment anymore. It's about how can we help them? And they're very, angry and stuff if things don't go their way. Like they're entitled not to be punished.
Mm-hmm.
And like at the end of the day, there has to be repercussions.
Mm-hmm.
And there has to be some incentive not to keep doing bad things.
Yeah.
And like every single one of them has mental health issues, and I have anxiety, and I've
excuse.
Like, you know what? A lot of people have mental health issues, and yet they still work and they don't work and have normal lives.
They don't drink and kill a bunch of kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Like that's a low step in life, is just not to drink and kill a lot of kids.
Yeah.
It's
kind of an easy thing to not do.
Someone this one was passed out in her car, with the car running, and in the entrance of a apartment parking lot, and her 3-year-old grandbaby's in the back. The cops banging on the window trying to get her to wake up. They finally get her to wake up, and she's drunk off her ass. And then she's so belligerent and angry and fighting him. It's like she gets charged with child, neglect, because this baby was not buckled in the seat with the toddler. So they could have gotten out and gotten in the car, put the car in reverse because it was running. Mm-hmm. And she just doesn't even see the problem with it. How can you be that irresponsible? And I blame her daughter because she knew she was an alcoholic and still let her watch kids. And I get it when you don't have a choice because you have to work or whatever, but you always have to.
Sure.
Sometimes these people who they let watch their children blows my mind, because these women let these predators watch their children. And the judge has gone off on some of the moms too. Like, when you invite someone you don't know around your children, you are just as responsible.
Yeah.
And she'll tell people if they can't be in a relationship anymore.
The ones that leave their kids in the car and they go in the casino. And then they're like, I was just in there for a couple of minutes. It's like, you do realize that there's cameras here. We're back to the camera thing again. There are cameras.
Yeah, and casinos have cameras that can see.
Yeah.
They can see into your purse.
And they timestamp everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just who leaves? I don't understand how you forget your child. And they're like, oh, car companies.
Yeah, she just left it. Yeah.
I know, but the ones who claim they forgot. Yeah. And they're like, oh, car companies should make something that remind. No, you should be, as a responsible parent, remember your child is there.
And if
I don't understand.
They said if it's a situation where you don't usually take your kid, but this time you have to, take your shoe and put it in the back seat.
Yeah.
Because that's a trigger that, oh, I need my shoe. Oh, the shoe.
Right.
Kid. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't understand the ones who just so blatantly leave their kids while they go do something else. This one, the kids called because the mom left to go to the store.
Ooh.
And the baby was crying and she didn't know what to do, and she called the cops, and the mom came home and was pissed, and she's going to take it out on the kid who called the cops. But you shouldn't have left 4 kids alone while you went to the store. I don't care if it's 5 minutes away.
Anything.
7-year-old should not be responsible for 4 kids under the age of 7. And what happened? This one lady left her newborn in the car while she was grocery shopping, and she claimed it was 10 minutes, but it was longer. Car wasn't locked. She claimed the car was locked, and she left the air on. And the cop's like, "Oh, so you have an extra key?" She's like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "Well, the key was in it to keep it going.
Right.
So you must have had an extra key to lock the door." And that's when she admitted it wasn't even locked. And she's like, "It was fine." He goes, "You know what?" He goes, "What if you had fallen and passed out? No one would have known your child was in this car. What if someone stole your car?" Just the ridiculousness. They don't even think things through. People aren't taught to think scenarios through. Like,
I mean, there's
when
people
you're a parent,
there's people get carjacked at the gas pump, and that's not their fault because, the kids in the car, of course, because they're pumping gas, and kids
oh
get
my,
carjacked.
oh my God, Tina, which Cuomo? Not Andrew again.
Oh,
Isn't he going to be charged with the senior citizens' deaths?
which one? Or the one that's taking ivermectin? Maybe that's making him crazy. Who knows?
Chris, yeah, which Cuomo are you going to have to suffer from? You can always come and live in Vegas. You don't even have to deal with winter.
I wouldn't even tell you to come here because we got 2 years
It's
left.
no worse. It's no worse in Michigan. It's just as bad as New York. Yeah. Andrew, I thought they were going to charge him with the nursing home deaths.
Which, again, with the Michigan Whitmer thing.
Yeah. We'll see. I can't believe anyone would vote for him. I mean, between the sexism and all that stuff.
Come on.
Then again, he might make
some dumbass people.
I don't know. I think when the big elections come around, there's going to be a lot more surprising people running who never would have had a shot before, who are going to have a shot now because of all the upheaval and stuff. And I do love the fact that all the people are, it's okay to be a Trump supporter. You can be a Trump supporter publicly. And, all the athletes show their Trump support and nobody goes after him anymore. So I think it's a different world. But we'll see. He's based now, not Andrew Cuomo. I think he's running scared and he thinks if he runs for office that they won't go after him. Or he just thinks it's because he's a Cuomo and he's entitled, which a lot of politicians do think that, because their fathers or whatever were politicians that means they should get to be. And I'm talking about you, Bush family, and some of the others, Kennedys. I guess there's another Kennedy they're trying to push to run in 2028. One of Bobby's kids, maybe. I don't know. But not one of Bobby's kids, one of Ted's kids, I think, or something. There's another Kennedy coming up the pike.
Yeah, I know. There's
they want
Kennedys. They breed like rabbits. I don't know.
They do, and they're kind of scary. Roommate just said he thinks Adams is going to win again. I literally cannot even. Isn't Adams under indictment? I thought they were indicting him for criminal stuff.
Awful.
I know he's been kissing up to Trump big time. They all are. It cracks me up.
See that, right?
Fetterman was in Mar-a-Lago, and he's surprising me a lot.
Yes.
I mean, I get he's a Democrat. He's Pennsylvania. There's a lot of Democrats, but
he's stroke makes more sense than.
I know he seems to be more reasonable than a lot of them.
Maybe it was a stroke, Rewired.
I don't know. I don't know.
When he said that he is the senator for all of Pennsylvania, not just the Democrats, I was like, whoa, dude.
Yeah.
And he's co-sponsored the Lincoln Riley bill.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really called out the Democrats to go after him too. I
like him. I'm not on board with him, but I like him.
No, because I can't agree with everything. But hey, at least there's somebody they can work with, and that's the thing. All they need is to be able to. Used to be, even though the political differences were different, they still work together.
Right.
Now it's such, they're evil. You can't do anything with them. Then there's AOC who's trying to make herself look all reasonable and centrist, and she's going to be the next one. Please, I'm sorry. Girl would have to actually get an education first, and I don't mean her college degree and whatever it is. I mean some common sense education, which none of them seem to have. Fetterman's a goof, but he's also not stupid. Yeah. And
he's different.
I mean, I'm sorry, but and I know it's not our friends in California, but others voted for Schiff for senator. As bad as Schiff is, they still made him a senator.
So much Shifty Schiff. I can't stand looking at him with his bug eyes and his. Man, he's just so gross. He's so gross.
I know, it's like.
And Maxine, she's like, her face is melting off.
Yeah, and then there's Pelosi running around with her broken hip that we all know she was sampling the wine.
Wine? No, she's on vodka, honey. She's past wine.
I thought she owned a bunch of vineyards or something.
Yeah, but I think that's not even enough for her. I think she's personally keeping Tito's in business.
And the ice cream. Don't forget the ice cream.
$12 ice creams.
Yeah, but she's kind of been sidelined now.
She's been quiet.
Which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's because she's, they got rid of Feinstein finally. And,
well,
the one who had, who had a China, well, no, but she was checked out long before she was gone. The one who had the Chinese spy chauffeur for 30 years.
Yeah.
But hey, it's all good. Let's just let her stay in.
Oh, you mean like the one's wife who's Chinese?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then there's Swalwell with Fang Fang.
Fang Fang. It sounds like a soft drink from China.
I mean, you can't even take any of these people seriously anymore. And I think that's what it is. I think it's gotten to the point where we can just call out the ridiculousness and we don't get, even people on the left can't defend it anymore. It's so bad they can't defend it. So you can say the truth out there and they just, they put a token defense up and then that's it. We'll see what happens with the inauguration. I just hope nothing bad happens and I worry about that they're planning something.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Like I said, I'm worried about pardons. Because there's one guy that if they pardon him, I'm going to be super, super pissed.
Fauci?
I'm not even saying his name. Ugh, do not conjure that up.
But see, he doesn't want a pardon. Because if he has a pardon, then he's guilty. No. If he gets a pardon, then that's an acknowledgement of guilt, which means they can go after him and sue him, all the people. So he does not want a pardon. He wants to stay as far away from a pardon as possible.
He should be under the jail for what he did with the AIDS thing. He killed a lot of people.
Of course he should. But a pardon is an acknowledgement of guilt.
Yeah.
And he does not want that because then it opens up liability.
Yeah.
It's like, when they plea no contest because
right.
If they plead guilty, then they're admitting it for civil suits. I learned this from watching court TV.
Because anybody needs to hang, it's him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they all do, but
the devil.
I'll start with him.
Yeah. I can't believe we spent $15 million on his friggin' security. No, I don't care if somebody comes after you, dude. You made your bed, you lie in it. I'm sorry. You killed a bunch of people. I'm not advocating murder, but I don't think tax dollar money should be paying for his security. Now, if he felt his life was in danger, he should pay for his own security.
He's got money.
He made a lot celebrities, of money out of that. Yeah. Celebrities out in California who are paying for their own private firefighters to protect their homes. Which, I guess if you got the money, but it'd be really heartbreaking if they protected one person's home and ignored the next door neighbors,
Especially when there were citizens that were out there with their houses burning or about to be burned and they're helping their neighbors. But you can't get first of all, they fired a bunch of the firefighters because they wouldn't get the job.
Yeah, because they're qualified. And they said a lot of celebrities have been over using the water. Part of the problem is because even though they have water limits, they were, totally doing 100,000 gallons a year or whatever when they're only allowed
Barbara Streisand with her green lawns. Yeah.
The Kardashians and a bunch of others were overwatering, which, they were paying the fine, so they didn't care. But it just meant, less water. And then I guess the city councilman was in charge while the mayor was out of the country, excuse me. And he didn't even call the feds for help for 6.5 hours after the first fire started. If he called for help, they could have gotten a lot of more of some of the planes and helicopters up before the winds got too bad. And they could have actually cut some of them down before they got bad, but he didn't want to make that call, I guess. So I don't know.
I think we need to change the name of this to Gripe Night.
I'm sorry, guys. It's just frustrating. And
there's not been a lot of knitting.
Well, there's not been a lot of good news recently, sadly. You know?
Well, yeah, 2025, man, what are you doing?
Tina, we have water. We're stealing it back from California. There's all new water plans in place for Nevada.
We have water. I live right on a river, on a lake. But I don't recommend Michigan for a while.
Yeah, we have a Republican governor. He was our former sheriff. I don't like him for everything, but he's better than the alternative.
Right.
So we'll see. He still hasn't explained the whole, shooting thing when the guy massacred a bunch of people at the country festival.
Nobody talks
we never got a reason why that guy did it. We got, suspicions and what, this person said or that person said, but we really never got all the reports. So,
no.
I'm still suspect of him, but.
Well, because there was no information about it at all.
Yeah. And like the guy with the bomb, this Tesla, there's so many conflicting reports coming out now about that. I have no idea what to believe on that one. His wife came out and made a statement.
Blame that on Elon, and that it's like, no, that wasn't Elon.
Nope. I did like how he used that to prove how good the Teslas were. Yeah, there's a whole bunch they're covering up about a lot of things, and
everything they cover up everything.
Yeah, it's like, and they wonder why people don't trust authorities because you lie.
You lie. That's all you do.
I mean, the FBI needs to be restructured from completely torn down and restructured. I'm sorry, but it's a mess.
Oh, and then they're crying. Oh, so then I guess 60 Minutes had Ray on there. Oh, why are you? Oh, you're leaving. You're quitting. Yeah, because he's about to get fired. Like, what the?
I know. Like, they think Trump's going to let him stay. Please.
No. Oh, I hope. I hope, and I think that Trump has learned his lesson about the company he keeps, and that's why this lawyer of his, she's got to go. The one that's all up in Andrew Tate's face.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a fan. Oh, I agree with everything. You're just like Trump. No, honey. No, he's not. And you need to go.
No. I'm worried because they're already pushing back on approving his cabinet positions.
I've heard he's got the votes, so I don't know.
Well, I know, but they're like, oh, we can't go to them. We can't have the hearings because there's background checks not done. And they're trying to slow walk them.
Yeah. And Tulsi's a little sus about the whole FISA thing. I'm a little concerned about that.
Yeah, but she said she would do whatever Trump's policies.
Okay.
She can personally feel however she likes. RFK feels differently on a lot of things too, but he said he will follow Trump's directives. Yeah. It cracked me up that the pro-abortion people are mad that he's going to be there, yet he's personally pro-abortion. So like, you would prefer that Trump picked somebody who was pro-life.
And Melania
you can't have it
too. She's pro-life or pro-choice.
I don't know. It just cracks me up because the cognitive dissonance, and it's in the knitting world too, with all these people who are running away from Instagram. It's not safe. We have to have a safe space for our special victim followers. Okay. Since when are you the arbiter of what's a safe space or not? And
what do you mean safe? Like, what's going to happen to you?
Somebody might say something mean to them that they can't handle, and they're not grown enough to scroll by.
You'll get your feelings hurt. Here's a clue, honey. Right up there in the corner, right there, it's an X. Click on it. Click on it, and then you'll be safe. Jesus.
It's like,
I don't know. I'm just old, I guess, because I don't.
What kills me is the attitude, like, that they have to. It's this whole mentality of we need to look out for these poor, pathetic people who can't do it for themselves. Like, these people aren't adult enough to curate their own feeds. We have to make sure that it's safe for them. No, you let them do it themselves like normal people do.
The bubble wrap brigade. Yeah.
I think some of them are using it as an excuse to explain why their company's going down the drain.
Well, yeah, we know.
And then they can explain, and others can explain why they don't have so many followers anymore. Oh, it's because I went to here.
Oh, okay.
No, it's before you went to there,
Because you suck. The end.
Yeah, but we're the ones who are happy. And even when we weren't happy with the government, we were still happy with our knitting and our, because they seem so miserable with their knitting too. Like they're always
Yeah.
complaining and whining, and like, if you just stopped and just knit or crocheted something, you might be a happier person.
Mhm.
But I don't know. And then what did somebody in our other chat talk about? Someone was looking for size inclusive socks. Really?
Gee, I don't know. If 64 count doesn't work, try 72. If 72 doesn't work, try 76. I don't know.
But that's too much. They need it done for their individual size where their corns and their bunions are calculated in there.
Oh, Tina said what we didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. It's only fair. It was a public ask for money. I think it's what's been supporting him when she hasn't been, putting out a lot of. But I don't know. Do people buy her yarn anymore? Does she even make yarn anymore? I have not seen her show off her yarn on Instagram in years, basically.
No, I don't even follow her. I just see what Neil posts and I'm like, oh, whatever.
I think she'll be back on Instagram soon enough with a grift, needing money for something. And people will be dumb enough to give her money because they are.
Her girl will die, or a dog will die, or she'll trip over and break her leg, or
she'll ignore any white person, take their money, tell them they're racist, take their money, and move on to the next grift. Because that's what you do. But don't expect to talk to me. Don't give me a DM or question anything because. Oh, she had an advent. Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Did she?
All I ever saw on her Instagram in the last couple of years was her and her husband complaining about something.
Ad nauseum.
Or asking for money.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like that's all they do. And she's not the only one.
No.
There's a lot of other ones out there that, white people are bad and evil and protect me from them. But give me your money, white people, because you need to buy my stuff.
The funny part is some of those dyers are actually white and they still do the same thing. Which is wild.
Reebok themed?
Self-loathing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They self-flagellate themselves to be better, to be an ally. And
Reebok, like the shoe? Okay.
Nothing says Christmas like Reebok shoes. Maybe in the 80s, but I don't know.
Yeah, right? Like, oh, we doing
Reeboks and sweatsuits? Velour sweatsuits? Because
hey, how about LA Gear sneakers? Let's do them.
Yeah, it kills me, the white people who are just like, we need to, excuse me, they debase themselves about how they need to strive harder and work harder and, telling other white women how you have to behave and how you need to act and how you need to put these women up on a pedestal. It's like,
we need to lift their voices. No, you don't, because we can hear their voices loud and clear. And by loud, I mean loud.
And that's why we scroll by.
They don't let you not hear them.
No. And the way they treat their customers, some of them, they talk down and they're mean. And I'm like, I don't understand a business that does that.
It's a thing.
Everyone had LA Gear shoes.
And you had to wear like 2 pairs of socks and they were layered and all the pastel colors. Yeah.
And scrunched down so that you could see both pairs. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Back in the day. But I was just like, some of them just crack me up. I'm like, do you even like dyeing yarn or knitting or any of it? Or because it just seems like it's such a struggle for you to have any positivity about it whatsoever. Maybe you should find a different career or just go get a job, because it seems like being a yarn dyer makes you really miserable to these women. So that you need to ask for $100K so you can start a school to teach other people to be miserable. I don't understand.
Damn, I miss my calling. Ugh.
I know. Well, Therese, we never would have gotten into that school. Come on.
No.
We're not special enough, put it that way.
I would have forgotten to go.
Yeah, I heard she was outsourcing her dyeing to Peru.
That's what.
So what happened to? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I lost both my parents, and it was traumatic. And I still miss my mom and my dad very much. But the world also had to go on. I still had a family to support, and things to do, and things to pay for. So I couldn't just take a year off to grieve.
I just can't imagine. like I know there's GoFundMe's for people who have unexpected deaths in their family. You know, recently a friend of mine, I don't know, 32-year-old son died.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Probably.
Isn't that where Malabrigo's from, or somewhere down
Yep.
there? Yeah.
Peru, or one of those countries.
The use of GoFundMe right now is wild to me because it's just anybody.
People,
I need a new car because my car, it's not, it's just not what I want. So I'm going to set up a GoFundMe. Or
the support me culture is.
My dye studio is too small, so I'm going to get a building, and I need you to help me pay for it. No, just then save up money.
Build up your business,
right?
Or it just the gimme support me.
It's begging.
Mentality blows my mind. It's one thing if you have an honest emergency.
Yes.
Like a loss of a child,
right.
or medical bills that were unexpected, but these people, I need, money because I want to have a breast reduction. That's on you, because that's cosmetic surgery. Or I need a boob job, or I want a trans and you need to pay my surgery. No, I don't. Because no. Get your own done. Like, it's like these people think that everyone else owes them. It's like the shoplifters. They think it's perfectly okay to go shoplift $1,000 because they're owed, because their lives are hard or whatever.
They just put that into their cost,
Make sure he likes hand knit goods, because if he doesn't,
Anna
then he's
Nicole.
not a good one.
I'll call you now, Anna Nicole.
She found, sadly, she hadn't been so messed up.
Yeah, that whole thing is that's not really a joke, because it's kind of sad.
No, because I think, and she was taken advantage of a lot too. And but gonna go cruising bars on Fifth Avenue. Hey, big spender, do you like yarn? I got this hand knit hat. There's more where this came from.
Oh, I can see a whole line of yarn colors names.
Yeah, but Tanya, that was a different thing. That was a traumatic thing tragic that happened. Your son died. That's what I'm not talking about. That I'm talking. Those kind of things are different. I'm talking. That's in a real emergency. Right. I'm talking about people who want their lifestyle funded.
Right.
Like, I want a new computer. GoFundMe. Or I want to go on vacation. GoFundMe. No.
They do that. Yeah.
People who have actual terrible things that happen, that's a different story. And that was different with you. And we feel awful about what happened to your son, that you lost him. But it just, the frivolous lifestyle things blow my mind. Like,
and they have the audacity. It blows my mind, the audacity to do that. I would even, if I had something that I needed to do a GoFundMe for, I'd still be cringe about it. I might do it, but I'd still feel guilty and feel cringy and just be icky about it.
Or you could be a multimillionaire actress and, do a GoFundMe or post a GoFundMe about your sister and brother-in-law. Because I don't like Jamie Lee Curtis's politics, because she's a wackadoodle. Well, she lost her home, but she still donated $1 million to the fire department. Oh. And she lost her home. So, she's not out there asking people for money. She's actually helping support other people. And she said she met a guy the other day who lost everything. And he wasn't some rich celebrity. He was just a normal guy. And she said they just looked at each other and they cried, and they hugged. She said, because it's a universal thing. But to go out there when you made $23 million on your last TV show season, to go out and ask for money for your relatives. Yeah, I know you lost your house too, but you can afford to go rebuild anywhere.
Where are you staying right now? Oh, you're staying in your second house?
Or in the $1,000 a night hotel in LA, where a lot of them are staying. It's like, I sympathize for the rich people who lost their homes too. Because nobody should go through that, because you lose memories, you lose everything. Like however, but they're better positioned.
Years. Yeah.
They're in a better position to have another place to live, to rebuild. It's not going to affect them in the same scale as it affects other people. And I did like Mel Gibson because he was on Joe Rogan when his house was burnt, and he just said, he said at the end of the day, it's just stuff.
It's just stuff. Yep. Yeah, I got to finish.
And,
I'm halfway through that. I got to finish watching it.
and you know, I just
It's
people
just,
who think everyone else in the world owes them. I'm tired of it. Work hard. The rest of us do. There's
and
a lot of things I would like, but
there's people in tents in North Carolina in the cold. Still.
Yep, because FEMA.
Mm-hmm. Since October.
So it's a damn good thing that Trump is getting into office, because if it's still going to be Biden, he'd be giving every emergency medical funding to LA and pulling even more from it, because those are his kind of supporters.
Whatever,
so they will get the treatment.
Ukraine. Yeah.
They will get the treatment that the people in North Carolina didn't, because of political differences, and that's wrong.
That's what he's doing
but
now.
Then, I mean, then again, LA gave all their surplus firefighting stuff to Ukraine.
Yeah. Well, and then I guess Canada was sending fire trucks or planes, fire trucks or planes. I can't remember. Oh, fire trucks. And California wouldn't take them because they couldn't pass emissions or some bullshit. Like, what?
I would be sad if my yarn burnt up too, though.
Well, yeah, for sure.
But
I also wouldn't start a GoFundMe to buy me more yarn, you know.
You know who would, though?
Yeah.
There's a lot of them that would. As long as my family was safe, that's what would matter. I mean, yes, I can say that my house wasn't burnt down, so I can't say I know how I would feel. And I know I'd feel devastated. However, I think the focus has been all on the rich celebrities who've lost their homes, and not on the normal people who have lost everything.
Okay, here's a good thing. Did you see the one where the guy went back and his dog was alive?
Mm-hmm.
That was so good.
Yeah, I know.
The dog was alive. It was like a little Pomeranian or something. And he's like, "Oh my God, you're alive, you're alive." And they were so happy.
But even though, the rich celebrities are losing their homes, the scale of what they've lost compared to what other people, because other people don't have the opportunity to, get paid $1 million or $2 million for another movie to make up to buy or rebuild, And
they can't rebuild, right?
No. And, there's already predatory lenders and real estate people in there now who
BlackRock's going to swoop in. You know that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just awful. And it's awful to lose all your things. I know people who've gone through fires and they've lost everything. And you can't get that back, but you have to move on. Not everybody can, get a $14 million movie deal and, rebuild, or have stupid Prince Harry there to hug him. Oh, hey, Joe Bob, we missed you.
Joe Bob. We're talking
because I'm sure these people, loved having Meghan Markle give them a hug, because that just makes everything better. Driving 2 hours to get to the emergency zone, where people are told not to come unless they have a need to be there, because they're trying to keep the roads clear and everything else.
Special though, she's special. So.
Going around with the mayor, who I blame him for entertaining it. He should have said, "You know what, I'm busy," but no, he had to give them a tour. Meanwhile, what are they doing there for PR? It's all PR to make it look like that she cares, and people are not buying it either. Like they're
look, it has a pom-pom. Look, Joe. Hey, how about Gavin Newsom when he lied to that woman? He said he was on the phone
with Biden.
I'm on the phone with the president right now. And she's like, "Well, can I listen to your call? Because I want to make sure that, he's like, oh, well, I've tried to get through to him 5 times, but I can't get through. Wait, you just said you were on the phone with him. Which is it?"
I know, he's so blatant about it. And then he does these interviews and he's just like, it comes across as like a moron. Like, how did this man ever get elected for anything?
He's like that Joel guy down in Houston, the preacher. Ugh. He's just creepy and gross.
Yeah, they're all
a lizard guy.
Yeah, with the greasy hair. You notice his hair still was looking good though.
Was it Mel Gibson that said he used all the money for hair gel?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one thing when you've got celebrities who are actually out there helping their neighbors and not calling in the news crew to tell them they're helping their neighbors. Yeah. Oh, he claimed the reservoirs weren't empty, and a reporter called him on it immediately. Yeah, they were empty.
What reservoir? There's photos of it. Oh, they were edited. I don't know.
Except the head of the department admitted they were empty because there was something wrong with a cover. Okay, they had a year to fix it. Hello. It's not as if, okay, I live in Nevada. We get a lot of smoke from California wildfires. So when something in California starts burning, it's not a shock because, oh, California's burning again, because it happens all the time every year. So for people who live in Nevada and expect it to happen, you'd think that people in California would expect it to happen.
You'd think.
Yeah, like their bad emissions were going to make the air any worse.
Well,
he's going to investigate.
It's climate change. It's climate change. Okay, if it's climate change, then why aren't you prepared?
Oh, Cassie, I'm not blaming your state. I'm blaming the people who run your state because if they did it better, then there wouldn't be these things to the extent that they have.
Yeah, your state's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I mean, it's not like they don't know when the Santa Anas are coming.
Right.
But to us, it's like,
prepared. Yeah.
But it's just the fact that we know and expect it to happen. You would think that people there in charge would like, hey, maybe we should do some preventative stuff. But no. She said there was a fire next to the empty reservoir a month ago.
Oh, no.
It does seem early in the season, but the fact that they have done nothing to do any preventative stuff, they could happen anytime.
And they did everything to not prevent it. You don't cut
the I mean,
you don't
even Trump was there in 2018 telling Newsom, you guys got to get on this after the last fire.
When he was on Rogan, he talked about it.
Yeah. But but that smelt.
He doesn't know anything.
Well, the whole California advertising is come to California, be out with nature. And that's great, but also
yeah.
Excuse me. All right. I don't know. Sorry, we didn't knit enough, but there's a lot of knitting stuff going on, like the crazy people who are running to Blue Sky. Which
no, I won't go there.
That'll be interesting. How long it takes a lot of them to come back to IG because they're not going to get any following.
Yeah.
No. Or engagement. They'll get engagement there from the same 10 people they get engagement from on Instagram. Who
it's an echo chamber. Yeah.
Oh, thank God we're here. It's safer. We don't have to worry about those evil people having free speech. Like Prince Harry and his wife wrote a letter against it, how free speech isn't promoting free speech. Like, yeah, that's how it works, but okay.
I knit an I-cord into a floor rug, but it's hideous colors in acrylic. Okay.
Well,
oh, I-cord, yes. I know. I can picture what you're.
I know what you're talking about.
It's like those rugs. Yeah. The
circular spirally. Wow. Good for you, Joe. And if it's a rug, who cares what color it is?
Did you knit the I-cord, or do you have an I-cord, one of those little things we had when we were kids? The little knitting thing with the prongs.
I-cord maker, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it's called. Okay. I don't know that we called it that, though. We didn't call it an I-cord maker. It was
no, we called it a
I don't know.
hand knitter or something. I forget.
No, we were all children.
Yeah.
Made I-cord. We didn't know we were making I-cord, but that's what we made.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun. Let me put that on my list.
Yeah, get right on that in your list of 50,000 things to make. And that's the problem.
You don't want to see my list. You don't want to see it. Shit pops into my brain, and I'm like, I got to write this down. I got to do this now. And then I go and
Me too, Cassie. I got
look and see if I have the yarn. And I can't find
French knitting. That's what it was called, Joe. French knitting.
The lip lady.
I remember. Yeah, the one who was doing the cord smith, the little handheld I-cord maker. Cassie's blocked. I'm blocked from her too, even though I bought one from the lady too.
Oh.
Yeah. Guess.
Well, she did you a favor because now you don't have to deal with her anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, it was called French knitting, Joe. Little French knitter.
Oh boy.
Fancy. I don't know. I have the little hand crank one now, and it's so much easier.
Ooh.
When I made that Hohi sweater that had the cord woven through the braids.
Ooh.
Yeah,
now
I used that because
those rugs. Damn it. Damn you, Joe.
I could make one of those rugs because I could hand crank.
No, that's what I'm saying. Now I I need an I-cord knitter.
They're like $15.
What are they?
Don't get the purple.
$3.99.
Probably.
And I can buy the yarn on there too.
There you go.
Listen, some of their yarn is actually really nice.
She sent it to our chat tree, so you can look it up.
Oh, okay, thanks. Some of their yarn is actually nice on there, and I don't want to hear about China, because if you're buying shit on Amazon, you're buying from China. Hush.
Yeah. If you buy anywhere, you're buying from China these days.
You buy from Walmart, you buy from Target, you buy.
Oh, she got the balls of I-cord from a thrift store.
Of course you did, because your thrift stores are better than mine, except for my.
I guess. I was going to say your cashmere. Let's not forget
that was a once in a lifetime thing.
Hey, it's good though.
But you don't get to growl at people when you get it on Amazon.
No.
I did growl at people, I think.
Hey, hands off my cashmere yarn.
Off my cashmere yarn. What are you looking at?
There's someone on Etsy selling a 4-hook I-cord tool. The one I bought, the 3-hook, and I didn't even like it because
the one that you crank and it comes out, a tube comes out, and then you wind it up and sew it. That's what I want.
Yeah. Use the wooden spool with the nails. Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
yes,
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, Joan.
Spool knitting. Spool knitting. That's what it was.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the precursor to those round looms.
I don't want to.
No, I'll send you the link to the one I have.
Oh shit!
If you look on Temu, if you look on Temu, it's probably not called an I-cord knitter. I'm just saying. I don't know what it would be called.
Fashion something. I don't know.
Fashion hand knitting machine or something.
I mean,
somebody died.
It says it's alpaca, but it didn't.
Somebody died and left it to Joe in the thrift store. Wasn't that sweet?
It was in their will. Yeah.
Hey, at least she'll make use of it. So good for her. Like, you're going to use the cashmere yarn, so good for you.
Yeah.
So
I'm using it. Yeah.
That's right. Well, thank you guys for joining us while we bitched about everything but knitting.
Sometime we'll talk
about one of those. I know. If you have any questions you want to ask us or subjects or comments, leave them in the comments or send them to knitnightpodcast@gmail.com, and maybe we can make a list of things to talk about or questions to answer. Maybe Neil will join us and can answer some questions once he warms up.
I don't know what you would want to know.
I don't know, but they all seem to do that. So I don't know. Ask me questions, but not anything.
That's
because there's some things.
Blue crab from Maryland. Yeah.
Because we won't guarantee to answer everything because there's some things we're not going
to. Till the end of the month.
For the sweater mill. Yep.
And then
and don't
babies.
For the babies. Also watch your Murder She Wrote and Knit for Tabitha. Watch her podcast. Watch Knitler and Traditha because I'm sure they'll have another episode soon. And
Two sisters and some yarn. We have knit along.
All our friends. I want to know what you eat for breakfast. What did I have for breakfast today? I had a sandwich. It was lovely. It was leftover from last night.
I had a piece of chicken.
Yay, Cassie, go. You can finish it.
Oh, good.
Technically, if I eat Chex Mix, it's eating cereal for breakfast, though. So,
Chex Mix?
Just saying. I'm just saying it's cereal. I ate it with my sandwich.
I got to go back on low carb because the holidays were a nightmare.
Yeah.
I went nuts. Ate all the bad things. Now I feel like
Don't
crap.
we all?
I feel like crap.
Yep.
But
yep.
It's okay. It's okay.
We're good till next November, though.
Oh, the carbs?
It'll start. Yeah, it'll start all over. No, I'm eating all the crap. Eating all the crap will be next holiday season.
No, that's 4th of July and potato salad and macaroni salad and corn on the cob and hot dogs and
Well, yeah, but those are usually just one day at a time. November through Christmas, you eat them the whole time.
No, if I got potato salad in the refrigerator, I'm eating it every meal. Yeah, I can't have it. Can't have it.
I'm Irish descent. I have to have potatoes. It's a law.
My husband is Italian. Okay.
Pasta.
There's pasta. Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Salad. While not Italian, is still pasta. So
it's still pasta.
Yeah.
On that note, I need to go eat my dinner and see if
me too.
my daughter cooked it well or not. Nice. I can smell it, so hopefully she didn't burn it. So only because doesn't only cook it, and so she wouldn't know, But I did get these really cool silicone pie things that go around the edge of your pie so that you don't burn the edges of your pie when you cook something longer.
Foil? Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And they're silicone and they're big long ones, so you can fold around any shape round pan.
Ooh.
You just overlap it for however much you need to make it smaller or bigger. So, okay. And they work very nicely, so I don't burn the edges of my crusts when I make quiche or something that cooks for a long time.
You've evolved from the aluminum foil.
Yeah, which is a pain. This way, the silicone ones, and they go in, and you can throw them in the dishwasher. So,
I'm the dishwasher because the dishwasher.
Well, normally I am, but
very well. So
ours is really old in the house we're living in now, but
very well, yeah.
But it works better if you turn the hot water on before you start it, because then it's already using hot water. It doesn't have to heat it up.
Fancy that.
Fancy that. So, but thanks, you guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for putting up.
Thanks for coming in. Like and subscribe if you liked us. Tell your friends.
Like, subscribe. Tell all your friends how weird we are.
Next week, maybe some of our friends will join us if they're not busy or cold or tired or.
Or all their other.
With the king cake, I'm going back to low carb too. Yeah, but you got a real king cake, so you got to eat it.
Yeah. Oh, she does. Oh, I watch her, and she's got steak, and she's got all the good stuff. I'm broke. I can't afford steak. I miss steak.
Not for long. Things will change.
Things will change slowly.
I think food will go down.
Yeah. Not well.
We'll see.
I don't know. They went nuts on our eggs here, so.
I got eggs for $5 a dozen. I was happy with that.
Yeah, they did this whole. I talked about this cage-free bullshit thing.
Yeah. Well,
you will eat the grasshoppers, and you will like them.
No, I will not. And no, I will not. Because I'm not going to eat grasshoppers.
No.
At least not knowingly. I mean, they could be putting it in stuff.
I mean, that's biblical. The locusts are biblical, but no.
Yeah, well, the Old Testament's not big on pork, but bacon. So, bacon. Some things you just have to do differently.
Bacon, yeah.
Yes on bacon, no on locusts.
No eggs to go with it, but that's okay. Just eat bacon. Oh, wait, who's doing a podcast? It's just, Caro. Just eat bacon.
JustEatBacon.com.
See?
I know. Hopefully she'll actually get that going because I'll watch.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
I'll eat a bacon sandwich and watch.
Yes. We'll eat bacon.
So,
yeah. Okay.
So thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for listening to us.
We will see you next week. I don't think there's Knitting Wars this week, so
next week will be a celebration.
That's right, and we're on next week, right? It's a week from tonight, right?
Yes.
So we'll be partying next Monday. Come party with us.
Party! Y'all wear your MAGA hats.
Have your best beverage, and we'll have a party.
Yes, we will.
So we'll talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Bye.